Right. Um. Well, I don't think we have enough information, so we're gonna go to Vitamin Square. So this is Vitamin Square. Yeah, I see where they get the name from. Now the fruit screams vitamins at you. Hey, Nick. It's the guy, right? Isn't that the old man Mr. Armstrong was talking about? That grouchy looking grandpa? He's throwing seeds out for the pigeons. Maya, he's not throwing seeds for them, he's throwing seeds at them. Ugh, my grumpiness threat level has just been risen to red. Excuse me. Would you mind if I had a word with you? Yes. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. What's the matter with you? Can't you see I'm busy? So you don't like my seeds, eh, pigeons? Really chucking those seeds at them. That's got to hurt. Go on, eat this. Sigh. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about Maggie Bride? I don't know any Maggie Bride. Yes, you do. Maggie, the waitress at Trespion? Ha! It's a disgrace, I tell you. An utter disgrace. A disgrace? Innocent young girl revealing herself like that. Revealing? You mean her uniform? Youth of today, they don't have any shame. No shame, I tell you. Not 1 ounce. Whatever happened to the old Bushushi value of Japan, like honor and modesty? What about me? I'm not wearing anything revealing. You? Your problem is you lack any sense of grace. Talk about hitting a girl where it hurts. You go to Trespion a lot? That miserable excuse for a restaurant? That garbage they serve in there is not food. Where's the sushi? The tempura? The rice? Trespion is a French restaurant, sure. Where do you think we are, boy? In Paris? I want real food, not the snooty snacks. And what about those shameless girls? You mean the waitresses? You can see all the way up there. Yes, the waitresses. They're practically naked. It's a disgrace, isn't it? Well, isn't it? Listen, it's not my restaurant. It's a miserable excuse for a restaurant. That place is miserable. He certainly knows the place. He must be a regular. But if he hates it so much, why does he keep going? Are you a regular at the restaurant, sir? It's just, if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeons. You want food? Haha, take that. He must be hiding something, right? If he is, I should be able to see a cyclops or two. Oh, wait. I don't exactly have the magnetonum right now. Huh. Remember, that magnetonum is only on loan. You better find it or else. If Pearls ever gets wind of this, I'm going to be in a world of pain. Oh, there's a magazine here. It's a magazine full of job listings. You disgraceful rogue, picking up something someone else threw away. Threw away? Did you throw this away? Are you looking for a job? That's none of your business. Sorry, I guess I'll just take the magazine with me then. I don't want anyone else having it. Give it back. Too bad. Now that you want it so bad, I don't want to give it up. Hey, that's mine. Hey look, pigeons. Yeah, and heaps of them too. Did you know that pigeons are a symbol of peace? It's a dove, not a pigeon. Poor things. So they can't be a symbol of peace and harmony just because they're gray? Is that it? You're overthinking this one by just a smidge, Maya. I think that's it. What if I... Mozzarella? Yes? Are you looking for a job? What? No. I was just... Let me see. Your style is different, but you have a good face. Different? You have passed. I will hire you. Jan, comes with me. I will teach you everything I know. Nick, help! I don't know whether to laugh or feel bad for Maya. Maybe I should do both. Looks like they have Maggie in questioning. I guess I've asked pretty much anything, everything. I'll come back there. Anything else I need to ask her? Well, pal, have you found the evidence yet? The one that's gonna find her innocent? No, not yet. I've only just started our investigation. Well, whatever you need to know, I'll give you the dirt on it. I'm putting all of my other cases on putting off all my other cases for now. I'm really fired up about this. Oh yeah, one more thing. The retrial has been approved. Court sitting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. God, it's gonna be the prosecutor. Oh, him. Now, listen up, pal. If Maggie found guilty again, yes, I'll make sure you get locked up for good. Got it? So the guilty party was Maggie Wright, huh? Yeah. Back when she was on the police force. You were her mentor when she was a rookie, right? Yeah, I kept a close eye on her. I mean, not too close, you know. Hey, what's with the funny-looking face, pal? I was just her... It wasn't anything like... Look, sir, I was her boss when she was doing her training. But that was it. Nothing happened. I'm sure is sweating up a storm or nothing. So that's it. Our big old gumshoe has a little crush on Maggie. I don't like her or anything. I was like, note to self, gossip with Maya about this later. Look, pal, don't tell anyone, okay? You've got to keep it a secret, got it? Sure. And would you mind not guessing what I'm thinking all the time? Hey, tell your face, pal, not me. You'd have to be blind not to see what was on your mind. So, I was wondering, could you fill me in the victim? Glenn Elge. He was a computer programmer. I see, a programmer. He was just a regular Joe worker for a small-time computer firm. Maggie never had any contact with the guy before that day. And all she did was take him his coffee on the day of the murder, pal? Yeah, Maggie also claimed to have never seen the guy before. Did the victim go to the restaurant often? Not according to the chef. Said it was the first time he'd seen the guy. Programmer and a first-time customer at that? What possible reason could Maggie have had to kill a guy like that? That's what I thought. But a motive was still somehow established in her trial. What? You're kidding. What was her supposed motive? Sorry, pal. I'm real busy. I haven't even got enough time to shift through these papers. Look into it yourself, okay? What could this motive have been? Isn't really a proper investigation. I'm kind of working on it by myself. Oh, that's right. The judge already ruled on the case and all the evidence is in already. The only problem is with Maggie's testimony. Yeah, doesn't sound very good for us, huh? Look, pal, I've got a mountain of papers on this case to look over before tomorrow. So I'm just gonna say this. Maggie Bride is no liar. She's... Okay, so she's a bit out there, and a bit off base sometimes. But she was a good cop. Not exactly complimentary, you know. So what do you think really happened? How contradictory is her testimony? The biggest problem with Maggie's testimony is the number of people at the table. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Maggie still insists there was another guy sitting with the victim, right? But get this. Everyone else in that place says the guy was alone, even the chef. And then there's that CD. CD? Oh yeah, she did mention something about a CD. There was a sample CD on the table, sir. But other guys turned that place upside down. There was no CD. What? Not on the table, not anywhere. In the whole restaurant, pal. But didn't Maggie say the victim was wearing an earpiece too? Yeah, but that was for the portable radio in the front pocket of his hoodie. A radio? He didn't have a CD player? Got it. Your phony never explained that contradiction at all. Come to think of it, the owner of Trespion didn't mention that CD either. I don't know why, but I get the feeling Mr. Armstrong got something to hide. What's that? A sports paper? Yeah, I found it in the magazine rack at Trespion. It's dated the same day as the murder. You may be onto something here. And take a look at this. See this writing here? McBomber? Hey, what is it? I've heard that name somewhere before. Yeah, McBomber. Wow, he actually seems to be thinking for once. It's no good, I can't remember. And he goes back to being the gumshoe we all know and love. Hey, pal. I'm gonna borrow this paper for a bit, okay? I want to get a handwriting analysis done on the scribble. Handwriting? Huh? It'd be good to know more about that in any case. Thanks, pal. I bet this'll turn out to be an interesting clue. Okay. Guess I'll move on then. Okay, it's still missing. I guess there's really nothing to do at this moment because I just lost like pretty much the only piece of evidence I had. I'm gonna go home. Poor Maya. Looks like Mr. Armstrong really taking a shine to her. I suppose I'll just have to let her work at the restaurant for a while. I'll go pick her up from Trespion once things have cooled off. Can I go check on her now then? Is that all I had to do? Ow. The gumshoe actually might know more about the victim. Alright, tell me about this dude. Okay, you're useless. Chef of Trespion, huh? You know what the chef said to me? Ooh la la, your body is full of toxins. And then he gave me this bottle. What is in it? I don't know. The label says juniper. I'm under order to put a few drops of it in my bath every day. Under order? Yeah, you know, there's something about that lady. I mean guy. Huh? You can't stop thinking about him. Not like that, pal. Give me a break. He's not my type. I mean, I can't stop thinking that he's involved with the case somehow. Sounds like he knows a little something more about the charming chef. Can you please talk about that? So what exactly is it that caught your attention about the chef at Trespion? It's, kind of hard to say. The guy's problem's not even he's probably not even connected with the case anyways. Hey, come on, detective. Didn't you say you'd give me dirt on anything? Well, this sort of stuff is kind of unimportant, gossipy stuff, you know, pal? Look, how about this? You go to Trespion and investigate the place yourself. Find out anything suspicious about the guy, you report back to me, okay? Don't suppose I get a choice in this, do I, huh? Guess I better find out more about the chef and Trespion and then report back to Gumshoe. Okay, let's go back. The scent of the flowers sure is strong. It's almost making me dizzy. Hello? Oh, hello. Wow, was that just now a customer? She had sort of a dark aurora about her. Welcome, Bean Avun. Wow, that's a cute voice. Oh, it's just you, Nick. Maya. Well, how do I look? Maybe you should quit being a spirit medium. Maybe, but it's kind of boring being a waitress. I mean, you're my first ever customer. And who was that woman I just saw? Oh. Since you're here, you might as well have something to eat. I'm kind of hungry, actually. So, how do you like your new job, Maya? I never knew there was so much for a waitress to do. Take people's orders, bring them their food, make coffee, work the cash register. Of course, we need a customer before I can do any of that. Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant. It's a shame more people don't come. Don't forget about the ultra cute waitress. Check out my gimme a tip smile. Hey Nick, why don't you order something? The chef's preparing a tasty lunch set at this moment. Or so he says. How much is it? It's the twin tea set, so it's $20, of course. Twin tea set, I believe. I'll be taking a pass on that. It's kind of expensive. What? But you can't. Come on, Nick. It's not every day I get to be a waitress. I want to try carrying plates and working the cash register. How about cleaning the toilets? That should keep you busy. Yeah, right. Maybe later. About the lunch. Oh, a fine choice, sir. No, kitchen, a lunch special, please. With all the extra drinks, side salad, desserts, and gifts. I don't need any of that. Just a moment, please, sir. Maya's really getting into this. So, how much is this set lunch then? 20? Huh. But with the drink, side salad, and dessert, it's $45. Hey, wait a second, Maya. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Here you are, our deluxe fortified lunch set. Whoa. This inspired by lobster and Aldolins Francis with a ballistic vinaigrette. Bon appetit. Thanks. Come on, Nick. Hurry up and try it already. Lobster, eh? Alright. Down the hatch goes. Well, are you hungry, Maya? I'm starving. Here, it's yours. Really? Remember, Maya, my wallet doesn't print money, so you'd better polish off that plate. I just remembered. I've got to clean the toilets. Hey, you can't be in that much of a hurry to clean the toilets. How unbelievable. How does that guy manage to make good food taste so bad? Hey, Nick, you want to take a peek in the kitchen? The kitchen, huh? Not a bad idea. Now, what was it that Maggie said again? In the kitchen, you'll get to see all the chef's greatest secrets. In the kitchen? That sounds tasty. Hey, wait up, Maya. What is it? I'm pretty busy right now. Weren't you going to show me around? Tisk. There goes my plan to find some cool clues and show it off in your face. I'd better conduct a search in the kitchen myself. And here it is, the famous Tribulations kitchen. It's my first time in it too, actually. There's a weird atmosphere in here, that's for sure. Mr. Armstrong will be back soon, so we'd better search quickly. Chop chop! Now, I know I'm in a French restaurant. I've never heard of most of these seasonings. Hey, Nick, this container has oyster sauce? What's that? Isn't that used in Chinese food? Look! Right there on the counter. My magnetonum. What's it doing there? What indeed? Now this is one large mirror. I bet this is where he makes himself look pretty. There's a book on the dresser. Clarence's Armstrong Bedtime Literature. Not exactly pulverizing prize material, is it? It looks like a collection of poems he's written. Poems? Cool. Read one out. And say it in your best French accent with intensity, okay? Okay, here's one, it's called Printums. The two of them, like actors from a film. The coffee, still undrunk. Sweet nothing over too soon. On that sad Sunday morning, the foolish cocktail so delicious. Take this last sip of your tea, and I know what I will do. I must lie to you. I must. Huh? That's it? Yep. That's a poem for you. What's this? It looks like a treasure chest or something. Wow. Look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're atrotherapy oils. He's got so many. They're overflowing onto the floor. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 98, 99, 100. They're all the same, too. Hey, wait a minute. What is it? There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So what's the liquid inside then, I wonder? Hey, Nick, we should borrow this. I mean, look how many bottles he's got. He won't miss one, will he? I hope not. The old guy's not here anymore. Drat. And I still have some questions unanswered from him. Scooter, huh? We'd love... we leave it right in the middle of the park like this? The wheels guarded and the light are busted. I guess it must have been in an accident. It's totally wrecked. Hey, what do you think those you's doing with my bike? No, it just grar. You's been messing with my new ride? Is that what you's been doing? New ride? Isn't that kind of grar? You're gonna pay for this. It wasn't me. I was just... Then who's the one that covered my saddle in crap? Huh? Grar, you're gonna pay. You catch my drift? No, wait a second. I'm not a pigeon. A wise guy, eh? I gotta beat you so hard it'll feel like you were smooching the express train. Uh-oh. You better be watching your back. This ain't over. I'm gonna ride up a group of lawyers and then you're gonna pay. Actually, I am a lawyer myself. What you say? I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at Phoenix Wright? You saying you Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I am. So you a wise guy too, huh? Because I'm Phoenix Wright. The one and only. What? Out of my way. He's gone. Surely that guy wasn't my pony, was he? He wasn't anything like me. Guess I better make a note of the scooter. Ha, pathetic. Oh, it's you. A few threats from a little brat like that, and you look like a pigeon that got its seed in its eye. Have you been there the whole time, then? I was in the strawberry. I had something to think about. More like you had some cowering to do. Are you a regular at the restaurant, sir? It's just that if you dislike it so much, why would you keep going there? Sir? There you are, you filthy pigeon. Do you want food? Ha, take that. I knew it. This old guy has got something to hide, but what could it be? Boy. Hey, you're just in time. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? The lab got back to me about the newspaper you gave me. It must mean the sports paper with the memo scribbled on it. So, what did it say? Did the analysts turn up anything? They said the doodle was written by the victim, Glenn Elge. No doubt about it. I expected as much. The victim took the paper with him to the restaurant on the day of the murder. That's our best interpretation of the facts at the moment. McBalmer. I get the feeling I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well, I guess that'll come back to me. Don't forget to report back to me with whatever you find in the restaurant, okay, pal? Since when did I start taking orders from Gumshoe? Although, I get the feeling there's something I need to show him. You got one of those aroma bottles too, huh? Only this one doesn't smell. Huh? I don't get it. This was mixed in with all the other aromatherapy bottles, but it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same. Wouldn't you agree? Cologne bottle that doesn't smell, huh? Smells like a skunk to me, pal. Mind letting me borrow that bottle for a while? I want to send it to the labs for analyze. The victim was poisoned, so the contents of this bottle are pretty important. Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe. I had a hunch there was something funny about that chef. You suspect Gene Armstrong? I've got that guy's number. I know what his secret is. That must be the same secret Gumshoe was talking about before. I guess I better fill you in on the details. About this Armstrong guy. Secret, I mean. So, what's Mr. Armstrong's secret? You ever had lunch at Trust Beyond, pal? Yes. So, how was it? Put it nicely, it was inedible. Hey, don't worry about being nice around me, pal. You and I both know the reason that place is so empty is because of the food. I mean, the place is clean, and he's got a girl like Maggie as a waitress, so yeah, I guess it's probably the food. The real scoop on the guy is he's up to his ears in debt. Really? How much does he owe? This is a copy of the loan contract. He's about $500,000 in the red. $500,000? Are we talking dollars? Yeah. Hey, if it was sterling, he'd really be in trouble. Sorry, that figure just took me by surprise. Yeah, this case is full of surprises. And I'd be willing to bet that Chef got something to do with it, most of them. That's my hunch. Okay, well, I think that's all I can get from you right now, so... See you later, Gumshoe. Sorry, Nick, I'm a waitress now. I've got a pile of work, okay. Okay, maybe I can get something from him still? What was the in there for? Is that really that much money tied up in this case? I can't give you the answer on that, pal. Not without the case file in front of me. But I'll tell you this. That Armstrong guy would have done anything for cash. He was desperate, you know? No, I don't know, but I think I sort of get the picture. I wasn't at the trial myself, but I asked this one detective I know how the defense was. And what did he say? He started off by saying, I'm in a complete loss for words. But he must have found some quick because he went on about how bad you were for an hour. But he said you snuck so much, it seemed like you were trying to get Maggie found guilty. It looks like I was trying to get Maggie found guilty. Wonderful. Wonderful. But I really don't have... I can't really present anything to her. No. Let's see what else I can present. I'm sorry, I can't help you about the victim. Have you gone to see Maggie? Of course I have, but I wasn't good at concealing her. I'm not very good with words. Oh, yeah, I guess I must have looked a bit down. Maggie was really supportive of me. It was great to have someone to talk to. Did he go for her, or for himself? Listen, dude, I need some info. Tell me something. Is that the thing real, pal? Why does everyone keep asking me that? I wonder what the phony of yours is like. He had Maggie found guilty of murder, doesn't that tell you? I've got to track down this creep. Okay, well, there's really nothing here. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Well, okay. Let's go to Detention Center. And Trust Beyond. Did I miss something in the kitchen? That smells good. Something bubbling away nicely in the pot. It must be lobster and Albulinus frescus with a ballistic vinegar. Isn't that what I just ate for lunch? Maybe. What you ate is the only French dish I know the name of. Now, I know I'm in a French restaurant, but I've never heard of these seasonings. What are these lace curtains for? I don't know, but they give this place a real homey feel, don't they? Lace curtains. You know, if I was cooking in a pot, I'd be perfectly happy to sit on the shelf under those. How do you respond to something like that? There's really nothing here. I've already looked through everything. Cool. Sorry, Nick, I'm a waitress now. I can't be any help to you. You want some food? You're just gonna keep throwing seeds at me, huh? Oh man, I definitely don't have the truth for this yet. It's time you told me the truth. Why are you regular at the restaurant you dislike so much? Isn't it obvious? People only have one reason to go to the restaurant. To eat. To eat. Is that the whole truth? What do you mean? I don't think you go to the restaurant for the food at all. You an insolent brat. How dare you accuse me? What proof do you got? I can tell that not you nor anyone else in the world will go to that place for its food. The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the lunch menu. The twin tea set. The food at Tribulations is terrible and expensive. You're wrong. It's cheap. Huh? I'm rich. I inherited money when I was a boy. Yes, I'm stinking rich. I haven't done a jot of work since I was born, other than feeding the pigeons. What a load of crock. The taste, another story, but the price, it's nothing to me. So you're saying that you go there because you've got money to burn. Exactly. I have so much cash, I go for a swim in my money vault every day. Fortunately, that's a lie. What? You don't have any money to burn. You're flat broke. This is yours, right? My magazine? What would a rich retiree be looking for a job? I was, so what? So I was looking for a job. I'm buying a lot at the moment. I need spending money. Oh, I don't go to the restaurant for the food. I just go there for coffee. Yeah, I think you mean cappuccino. Anyway, how much does a cappuccino cost there? $8. Those had better be some golden beans. What's your problem? You think a poor man would be better off drinking dishwater, do you? Is that it? No. I wasn't thinking that. I was wondering if the coffee there is really that great. No, it's not. But anyways, yes, that place has free newspapers to read every day. Newspapers, exactly. They don't want me hanging around at home, so I go there. I'm sorry, sir, but there are no free newspapers to read at Trespian. Um, don't know how to prove that. Take a look at this. What is it? It's a newspaper I found behind the magazine rack at Trespian. So, what of it? This was the only paper there, and it's dated more than 1 month ago. What? Do you see what I'm getting at here? That restaurant doesn't get newspapers. This is just one of the customers happened to leave behind. Arg. Tell me, why are you determined to hide the truth? I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to have to put this guy out of his misery. Listen, the real reason why you go to this is Maggie. What are you asking me about that girl? She was the waitress at Trespian. Therefore, the answer to the mystery of why an old man would drink expensive coffee at a terrible restaurant is the waitress. Ugh. But I don't recognize that face, and you are probably telling the truth here, because you weren't looking at the girl's face, but her outfit. Gulp. That's the truth, isn't it? You became a regular customer at a restaurant because of the waitress uniform. That uniform is all you can think about, isn't it? I can't take it. To you, the waitress was yours. Enough. Please, no more. Stop saying the words. Stop saying waitress. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I was surprised I could do that. I didn't think I could do that yet. Okay. Sir? Yes, it's true. I was there for the young girl. Fine. So I'm a dirty, wicked, sinful old devil. No, I didn't mean it like that. I even get one of those lousy cups of Java Cano every time for $8. All because of the serving girl. Punish me. Lock me up. Really? That's not what I'm here for. You'll be the same. Another 20 years and you'll understand what it's like. You'll know how painful it is to be an old man like me. No, really, listen, sir. Stop calling me that. I have a name, you know, boy, so show some respect, I'm Victor Kudo. So sorry, Mr. Kudo. You young ones think you know it all, don't you? Well, I'm not saying another word. I won't tell you anything more. This guy was in the restaurant at the time of the incident, which means I have to hear his testimony one way or another. I don't believe this. I even broke his cyclox and everything. I guess I'll have to try to get him when he's in a better mood. Go away. Nope. Really? He looks like one of those grouchy old men type. Yeah. It's okay though. I don't mind guys like that. But if he's involved with this case somehow, that's a different story. Sure. Here's a tip for you, pal. If you want to get information out of a guy like that, you're gonna have to find his weakness and try to get under his skin. His weakness? I wonder what that might be. Well, I'm pretty sure we know what his weakness is. Oh, it's that old man. Is he still feeding the pigeons? Yeah, he fed me as well. I got a bunch of those seeds in my eyes. Oh, ouch. Hey, Maya, would you mind coming with me for a while? Huh? Me? Why? There's something I really want to ask that old man. Sure, okay. I'll just get changed. No, just hang on. Can you go like that? I guess. Sir? You again. Well, I see. Nick, his eyes are burning into me. It's okay. I think it's going pretty well. Huh? You're still just a little child. Run along and play on the slide, alright? Play on the slide? Arg. We were so close, just a little more and we would have spilled. Pigeon. How can we crack this guy? Excuse me, please, sir? Quiet, can't you see I'm feeding the pidge? Mia! Well, if you don't mind, sir. I'd really love to talk to you with you. Yes. Of course, certainly. I'm Victor Kudo. Even from beyond the grave, wow. About the incident. You mean the man who died after drinking the coffee? It's like he's a different person. It was quite a shock, even for me. He was a strange-looking boy. The girl took the coffee over to him, you see? And what was the customer alone? Definitely, he was the only person at the table. Then he took one sip of the coffee and he said something like "arg" and then collapsed, dead. Oh, how terrifying. You're so good at listening, aren't you? I'll tell you anything, whatever you want to know. He certainly seems to be telling the truth now, but it looks like Mr. Kudo didn't see this other man either. Do you like the food at Trespion? Well, of course. I'm really quite a sophisticated man. I was a young businessman once, you know. I set up a casino in London. Really? How interesting. Eating the food at the restaurant really takes me back to my days in France. What a lovely story. London in England, not France. London's in England, not France. Oh yeah, France is wonderful. I'd love to show you around the city sometime. It's too much. I can't take it. I want France. I can't believe Mia's laughing at the guy. Sigh. You visit Trespian a lot, don't you? Of course. I mean, yes. I'd like to come and see you there. Hehehe. Really? Oh, you flatter me so. The owner would be delighted to welcome you, I'm sure. Be careful of the chef, my dear. The chef? You mean Mr. Armstrong? That's right. The man's an ex-con. He's an ex-con? Whatever did Mr. Armstrong do? Oh no, those eyes. I can't take this. Mia really got this guy eating out of her hand. He steals things from his customers. From his customers? Gloves, handkerchiefs, little things mainly. He's a pilferer, so you be careful around him, my dear. Are you sure about this? Of course. He was arrested for it once. I was there when it happened, having my cup of coffee. He really is a regular. Let me write you a little haiku about it. A haiku? A Japanese poem. It'll explain all you need to know about the chef. Oh, a haiku. A haiku. If he takes anything again, you let me know. If it's not too expensive, I'll buy you a replacement. Poor guy. Couldn't do enough for Mia. Okay, Phoenix. That's about as much as I can do to help. Thanks, Mia. You got some really important information thanks to you. Honestly, I can't believe Maya called me for something like this. I guess it's about time to wrap up today's investigation. Had enough of being a waitress? Yeah, plus no one came to the restaurant. Ooh la la, Mademoiselle. Maya, non. Oh, can you can you leave me like this? I'm sorry. That reminds me. Mr. Armstrong had a psych locker 3, didn't he? I'm going to have to break those. Mr. Armstrong, I hope you won't mind, but I'd like to have another word with you. Volatilles, of course. What is happening? I do not like this horrible feeling. I have to know the truth. I have to know the truth. What happened that day? Alois. I was confess everything that... Just don't talk to me. Huh? Well, that was a new world record. It was a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket? The man who died, at a lottery ticket for $500,000. $500,000? Oi. But after the incident, the ticket vanished like thin air. It disappeared. The ticket disappeared. Z was the motive the prosecution gave for Maggie. He said she poisoned the man to get the $500,000 ticket. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Aloha, you've been trying to hide this information about the lottery ticket from me, and I want to know the reason why. Non-Mazur, you doubt me? But I have confessed to you everything I know. Mr. Armstrong, the $500,000 ticket. I think I know who took it. I think the winning ticket was stolen by this person. By who? By you. Mr. Armstrong, I believe there's a very high probability that it was you. Arrgh. Wow. That is one piercing scream, even for a man like him. Moi? Why, you have no evidence. I am not the mask. I am not the kind of person who steals the property of others. Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Armstrong, but I have evidence to the contrary. I present to you proof that you have stolen from others in the past. What is this, a poem? Oh, Mazur, you know me so well. I adore poems. Please read it, and put some feeling into it. Convicted before, a wicked man or woman, repeat offender. I'm sorry to have to bring this up, Mr. Armstrong, but you have been arrested for stealing from your customers before, haven't you? Mondoi li manazor. You deny it? Do not make the false accusation the false plate. So do you have any proof? I want to see the instantial proof that I've stolen from one of my customers. I don't really have anything for that, do I? Oh. I don't think I have anything. I really don't. Oh, wait. Magnetonum. Oh my god. Okay. Do this again. One last time. It seems old habits die hard, Mr. Armstrong. What is that? This is my magnetonum, and I found it in your kitchen. No! Wow, that scream just about broke some windows. Oi. I have a weakness for the little chickens and the figurines. And it just slipped out. I cannot stop it. You've stolen a handkerchief, gloves, and other things from your customers, right? Oi, it's the truth. I am just a timid little girl inside. Manazo, a timid little girl. Besides, this time it was not a lost small chicken. Oi, it was $500,000. Voice no one. Why would I steal it? I have no need for such money. Really now. What was it? Isn't it true that you're in some pretty serious trouble? That you were in desperate need of a large amount of cash? This restaurant is deep in the red, isn't it? You have a loan to the tune of $500,000. That lottery ticket would have wiped your debt. Well, Mr. Armstrong, what do you have to say for yourself now? Mr. Armstrong, you said that the victim had a winning lottery ticket for $500,000. How did you know he had something like that in the first place? The man, he was listening to the radio with his earpiece. Maggie said something about that too. The winning numbers was announced on the news, I think. All of a sudden, he exploded. Yes, $500,000, he shouted. And the ticket? Oi, it had all the tickets spent all over the table. I was so desperately in need of money, so I put the poison in his coffee. No. Oh no, naughty man. I simply helped myself to one of his tickets. What? The victim collapsed and Maggie passed out. I thought to myself, money! I want the money! Yeah, but only one of them was the winning ticket, right? How could you do that, Mr. Armstrong? Maggie was arrested because of you. No, this is not true. I did not take it. The ticket for $500,000, I mean. But you just told us you did. You said you took a ticket. Yes, I took a ticket. It was only a ticket. It was not the winning one. That's enough. Huh? Mr. Got It. What in the heck are you doing here? This is without a doubt the worst coffee I've ever tasted, Mr. Armstrong. He came in here for coffee. Does his craving for coffee know no boundaries? Perhaps Mr. Armstrong stole one of the victim's ticket on the day in question. I am for sure, but just a pretty little girl who everyone is laughing at. But in that case, Maggie shouldn't be the only one under suspicion. He had the wrong ticket. What? Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket. Pretty neighbor. Mr. Armstrong made off with the winning ticket's pretty neighbor. So the ticket he took was a worthless? Not quite. He did win something. $1. You see, I am just a pretty face. Without my looks, I have nothing. So, what happened to the winning ticket then? The one he meant to steal. Indeed, what did happen to it? I don't like spoiling myself by watching trailers, so we'll just wait and see how the movie turns out tomorrow, won't we? Nah. Well, you too. Time to laugh at me, little airhead. Looks like I won't be needing this note anymore. Looks like we've got a new mystery now, namely, where did the winning ticket go? Got a bad feeling about this. Well, anyway, you can't let Maggie suffer any longer for this, and certainly not again. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie. Mac, Detective Gumshoe. Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you. Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent. You hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, right? Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Oh, of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay. We're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? You get me, sir? I can't tell how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go relatively smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, better. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong? Nothing. It's just, whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, you responded you was talking to me? It was a little, well, intimidating. No, it wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So, our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So, Mr. Goddard, your opening statement, please? Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or a real deal, we'll find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are a Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this trial, nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Goddard, please summon your first witness. It's Gumshoe. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court. Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, sir. The name is Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyways, I'm the officer in charge of the case since yesterday, sir? Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe really got everything under control for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of this case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elge. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screen Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. And here are the floor plans at the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. Poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused? Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elge, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like Miss Bride might have had, well, some kind of motive. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but yes, please, no intimidating tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me. That wasn't me, Judgy. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at the table, sir. Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? I'm so desperate for that to be true. You're practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bride. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And what killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey, sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. There are 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Huh. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Tribulations. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant. This is the photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. Seen as witnessed by the chef, moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime, how, Mr. Trite, could anyone have overlooked the second person at the table? Ugh. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Hmm. We understand that the guy, Glenn L., was listening to the radio at the time. He was listening to his radio, you said? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece? What should I do now? Should I press on this point a little harder? Why not? It worked so well last time. And what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? Traces of poison were found in the coffee cup. So traces of poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was powdery substance. So the poison could have been anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha. You put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite. The victim took his coffee black, with no sugar. Meh. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press this point a little harder or not? Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to his file, the poison was found on the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was thinking. In case you were wondering, the last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This. Should I be grateful this coffee only is hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's coffee cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poison coffee that was in the cup. Can we continue now? The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him, like this. Grr. For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of the cup, we found a certain chemical substance. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. Potassium cyanide? I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is the poison, Detective Gumshoe? Well, that stuff lethal. Eat too much in your history. How much is too much? A lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off. 0.2 grams? How much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much. Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. And, it looks like Miss Bride might have had some kind of motive. Some kind of motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is, Detective. Chuck out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to check you out. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now, then, what was Miss Bride's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then, is it possible Maggie stole the winning ticket? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's $500,000 lottery ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order. Ha. She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. But it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. I'm gonna go to get out of the bathroom. The facts of the case seems overwhelming clearly to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit the crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of this $500,000 ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for the sum of the money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren calls of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. We've got more evidence against Maggie. This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bride was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like it can't be blood, can it? Huh. It seems the stars of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly what I was looking at. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about the apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket. Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order. The court will accept these items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Goddard. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup. She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of coffee, witness. Oh, I thought everyone knew that or what it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They all have been very clearly established. Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all. Arg, you really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by some kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. That was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're the real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let's the fun begin. I don't really have anything. The crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe? There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. We're obviously talking about the same old man. Officer, we're dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then he hurled abuse at them and seeds. Seeds? Ha. It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. I guess not even the mighty Gada can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone, apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. How long was the defendant unconscious for? The officer got to the crime scene around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at the time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search, too. I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful. You're a professional, Detective Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Save the romantics for your own time, Detective. All we need to know about is the investigation. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? The victim didn't have any identification on him. He didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have any driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents? Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. Victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. But we figured out who he was pretty quickly, and then the investigation went smoothly. Wait a second. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Well, let me paragraph what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. He's so let down. He's got the whole saggy shoulder and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Elge visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who's prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source to the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask more? Ask about health insurance. Okay. So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty? Huh. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, Trite? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, Detective? When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? Hey, yeah, you've nailed it, pal. It happened to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes. Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So trite. Someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. So the $500,000 ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah, interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for. Wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh yeah, the one that the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, huh? And they're just going to let him get away with it? It was just $1, detective. I guess no one cares when it's that little except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with, and we can't find any contradiction if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true, but Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you've ever been. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There is just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officer receive the medicine from the scene of the crime? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappears? The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order. Well, Mr. Goddard, what do you have to say of that? Ha, that's all? What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngology Clinic. Otolaryngology? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Goddard? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elge found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report, if you read the fine print. They found traces of medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. Elge correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No, Nick. Don't think of something quick, it'll be all over. She's right. I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Only moments ago, Mr. Goddard made the following statement. It seems Mr. Elwood correctly applied some of his medication while he was in Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Arrgh. That's enough. Mr. Goddett, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Goddett? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater. Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me. Yay, good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Huh. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be the old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bride. Mr. Goddett, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what makes me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times. You don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, youngin'. How much call you think there is for Kimio Imbrano here? Kimio Imbrano? That's what I do, or did back in Japan. Imbranori's family crests on Kiminos. My ancestors were embroidering Caminos before the country even existed. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he can embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working at a cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness. Were you at the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes. I was eating some seeds over a cup of coffee. Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. And please, tell the court. We're all ears. Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The server girl brought him a coffee, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it and looked like he was in terrible pain, then collapsed. That's the server girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Ha, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, Newfangle? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles. I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The young man was reading the sports paper. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenn Elge? I wanted to know if Gustin Braun retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question. There are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at the table the other side of the restaurant, correct? Yeah. I go to that place to drink coffee. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitresses? The serving girl brought him coffee, but she put something in it. Mr. Kudo, that is very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need speculars for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And I saw what the server girl put in the coffee as well. I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not gonna like it. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask the witness to add what he knows about that in his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There is no question about it. She very compulsorily put some white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Couldn't she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? A bottle like this, perhaps. Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So, what did the accused put in the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Arg. The man took one sip of it and looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. He just took one sip? You youngins, you waste everything. Those coffees cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drunk every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title of fattiest man to grace the courtroom. So it was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the coffee I just drunk turned sour in my mouth. Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the witness, I presume, she is... That's the server girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you could identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry. You can see all the way up to her, you know, practically naked in that uniform. So the particular features you recognize about the waitress is her outfit. But anyone could wear such a uniform, even me, Mr. Wright. Please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. There are other things I recognized about her, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Sure, you saw the witness take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bride or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Whoops. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most critical details of all, her face? Ha, as if I wouldn't remember that. The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. No doubt he remembered the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. About... Ask about the waitress's back. Mr. Kudo, you seem especially interested in the straps. Why is that? What? The ribbon in her hair, the straps on her apron. What's the fascination? The fascination?
Objection!
People have all kinds of fetishes, right? You don't need to embarrass this witness. Listen, you young upstarts, I haven't got some sick strap fetish. Is there anything relevant to this witness' unusual love of straps, Mr. Wright? I was just curious as to why he was so fixed on the waitress's straps. I said I haven't got a strap fetish. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Very well. Continue with your testimony. Let's talk about the back. How about that? Maybe that was the problem.
Hold it! Objection!
The identifying feature you described are all things that you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Heh. He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. That's harassment, I tell you. I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about when I saw her from the front. Okay? Now I think I present the apron. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ha, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looked like, just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I have. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that, Well, you half-wit clot. Well, what? What is it? Ever since I said you half-wit clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before, yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Witness, you can't just oops your way out of this. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one witness, one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bride. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison in the coffee cup, that old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fact of the defendant may rest on what you say, remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin is perfectly working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger a customer wanted. He can't remember a problem. Probably more than like he messed up so many times he's blacking it out. Very well. Let's test just how good your memory is and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another one of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of speculars. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the coffee. Little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have here just heard was to test how credible the witness memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in great detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Speculars? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses were green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish that I remember him very well. He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. He seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some. Rival Mr. God's sharp appearance. We better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the speculars. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat kept rustling the pages. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting? How was I supposed to be able to read the back paper with all that wrestling going on? I needed to go find out if Gustin Braun retained his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why didn't you go buy one of your own? What are you looking at me like that for, Ow! Gustin Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyways. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. The wireless? The descendant young rascal. In my day, it was one of the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece? It's selfish. That's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. Was he that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me like that for, How dare you? Ow! Then the server girl in question brought over the coffee. You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, aren't you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. What does it matter? I saw her from the front. Wow, stop throwing seeds. Little Fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. His free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before? Cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right-handed, and if his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which one? Perhaps the great Mr. Wright has 3 hands. Yeesh. I was only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. This old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in the testimony somewhere, Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake, and he's ours. Okay. Coffee contains potassium covered. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of the testimony? That this was a way to testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make it his left. Ha! What is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and on the rim you'll notice a mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where the stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Garg! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he... Wait. If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about the dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand? Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hot bot and you spiky hair yahoo, who are at fault. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Got It. But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on me, Victor. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the coffee, his left hand. We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? Inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a command tool in the victim's line of work. HD TVs, DVDs, CDs, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts, in good old black and white. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. Left eardrum was... I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observation of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see what side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon, pretty pigeon. Order. This witness testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claimed the victim was wearing an earpiece when we all know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Got It? single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain, are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his coffee with his left hand. Let me put it out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness had already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking one sip of the coffee.
Objection.
Which hand the victim used to pick up the coffee is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands with one hand or the other, Mr. Elwood drank the poising coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Goddard, that doesn't wash. The point of the testimony was to establish whether the witness' memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court, but to be frank, his testimony is farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old... I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. The court is adjourned. Wait. If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a babbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut up until now, but there's nothing else the court should know. There's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to the one final showdown? The final chapter in this exotic old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the coffee you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. You better get ready, youngsters. I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with the box of seeds. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of the coffee. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of the cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Is that all? Yes, that is all. I remember it perfectly. You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's what I have to... That's all I can think of. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Go ahead. I didn't see anything, and I don't remember. First of all, I want to stress that the young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one of the sips of coffee. The court has already heard this testimony, Mr. Kudo. I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, The suspense? Yes, now, what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more? No. Please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible. All right, now. Where was I? Ah, yes, the young boy slumped over the table, and... Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over as he was dying. I'm sure he was concerned about that. A vase, you say? Yes. There are vases on all the tables in that place. They're accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over. Well, he's right about there being a vase. I do remember seeing them too. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked it over the vase? Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define... Okay, I get it. I heard it break, and the sight of it burns into my memory as clear as day. It broke, and the strips of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Soaked in water, you mean? Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well. You said you were sitting on the table across from the room from the victim, correct? And yet the water still managed to splash onto you? It was cold. I clearly remember it splashing me. Could the water really make it all the way across the other side of the room? Well, how about that? Turned things upside down, didn't I? You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking. The vase turned upside down, and my testimony is turning this case upside down. It's a joke. I just wanted everyone to hear it. What do you think, Captain? I'm impressed by your ability to waste time. Got it. Hasn't raised any objections for a while now. So you young show-offs with the scrap of information, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man and admit defeat. He's really giving you an evil eye, Maya. It's you he's looking at, not me, Nick. It's like he's saying, I triple dog dare you to find a contradiction, youngin. I guess I'll just have to raise to the challenge. Let's say. I don't see anything. The court generally prefers that the witness are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo. Nosy brat. I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the final battle. Ow, ow, ow. He's chucking those seats harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick. Nail him. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his coffee. We've already established that. So it's probably not that. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of the clothing covering the table got completely soaked. Aha. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, hot scotch. Ow, ow, ow. Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will have to be here all night. What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes, go on. The broken vase. It was on my own table. What? Oh well, you see. It startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Sigh. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of this courtroom. Wait, listen to me. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I am still not in a position to declare a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two desperations in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand, and the earpiece, which was inserted in his left ear, which he couldn't hear of. Wow, Nick, you did it. I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor. The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized it according into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. Prosecution doesn't need props like that. God, it really is really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here, you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Goddard's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, this isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright, we're gonna end it here. And I will continue within the next few hours. Until then, peace out. If my mouse works. My mouse isn't working. Wonderful.